Hola, sí, bueno, ahora sí formalmente los saludo, buenas tardes. Hoy rompimos un poquito el orden que yo tenía establecido. Ustedes comprenderán, esta sala está destinada al cine y la película que empieza un poco antes. Entonces, para que no se pierdan estas dos obras que las tenía programadas, las pasé antes. Bueno, hoy trataremos la segunda parte del tema iniciado en octubre pasado, cuyo objetivo es revisar la figura de este gran pianista del siglo XX que fue Arturo Rubinstein. Vamos en primer lugar a proyectar y ver un documental que le hiciera un documental de una entrevista que le hiciera un periodista destacado de la BBC de Londres, de nombre Robert McNeil, en la que Rubinstein queda retratado de cuerpo y alma. Y luego, sin solución de continuidad, se proyectará de Johannes Brahms su concierto para piano y orquesta número 1 en re menor opus 15. En este caso, este último caso, secundan al pianista la orquesta del Concertgebouw de Ámsterdam, dirigido por el maestro Bernard Haitink. La duración total de este compilado es de 1 hora y 10 minutos. Yo tenía preparado mis comentarios, pero prefiero pasar el documental y dejarlo hablar a Rubinstein, que creo que es más interesante. A mí me han escuchado durante todo el año, así que vamos directamente con la proyección.
Arthur Rubinstein at 90 is one of the wonders of the modern world. Put very simply, he is a giant in music, possessed of an extraordinary gift for interpretation, an uncanny memory, and a unique, sweet singing touch at the keyboard. The emotion his playing transmits has moved millions of people down the years, in thousands of live performances, on television, and through the extraordinary popularity of his recordings. But Rubinstein is more than a musician. For 90 years, he has demonstrated a prodigious appetite for living, for food, for wine, for art, for painting, for sculpture, for philosophy, for books, for travel, for friends, for family. He is still dynamic and healthy and active. He's completing the second volume of his memoirs, living in this charming house just off the fashionable Avenue Foch in Paris, the city he loves above all others. To me, the man, Arthur Rubinstein, is as enthralling and captivating as Arthur Rubinstein, the musician.
My love of life is very, very, very unconditional, believe me or not. You see, look here, just now you know very well that I am not able anymore to read nor to write. I lost the center of my eyesight. I don't see what I look at. I can still live, I'm not blind because I see around everything, so I am still independent in a little way, not very much. So I discovered suddenly a new beauty of life, new beauty of life. When I was seeing, I was reading too much. Some books which I shouldn't have read because they were not intelligent enough, I lost my time on it. They prevented me from studying more music and playing more. I had never the time to hear beautiful, beautiful compositions because I couldn't go to concerts. I was traveling myself, playing myself. Now I have endless records. I spend all my money on records. I listen to the Mahler symphonies, beautiful performances by my colleagues, by violins, by pianos, by quintets. I get angry, I discuss it with them when they play badly. I mean, I discuss inside, of course, they are not here. So they don't hear what I have to say, but they enjoy it tremendously. It's a new life.
In your book, My Young Years, you say that you adopted very early in life a motto expressed in a Polish phrase, Nie dam się.
Well, the translation is not quite easy because it is a little stronger in Polish, but it means actually, I will never give in. I will not give in. With much strength. Give in is something a little bit weak. There is no word for it, you know. I will fight it off. I will be brave, well, I don't know, something like that. But strong. And I learned it because I was present in Lodz, in my birthtown, to a pogrom which the Russian Cossacks had made in the streets. I was very young, I was a little schoolboy, I think I was 7 years old. We had to run away from Cossacks who beat up the population and make them bleed and so on, we saw blood and things. We were terrified, absolutely. And I learned something that I must build up in me courage. I try to be courageous, not to be afraid of anything. And I'm not afraid of anything. I was never really afraid of anything at all. Not afraid. I suffered about it, I took it in very much, I was unhappy about this and that, I didn't have money, I didn't have this woman or that, love, music, fiasco, no success, and all you want and so on, but I was always rather courageous. And I found out that probably belongs to my race, you see. I must tell you, I have been since childhood a very proud Jew, and to remain Jew. You see, I admired their courage for the 2,000 years in exile. I admired the incredible character of the Jews to stick to their religion, to stick to their race. They are the only old race preserved as they were.
Can we talk about your music? When people say, as they do, that you are the greatest pianist of this century, do you believe them?
But I do not believe them, but I get very angry when I hear that, because it is absolute, sheer, horrible nonsense. There isn't such a thing as the greatest pianist of any time, of anyone, nor anything. Nothing in art can be the best. It is only different. You see, I will tell you my theory about it. I don't think that an artist, whatever it is, a painter, sculptor, musician, performer, composer, whatever, somebody who has the title of being an artist, of having to do with arts, must have an unconfoundable personality. He must be the one and nobody else. He is Joe Smith and there is nobody else like that. For me, if I say, oh, he plays, you know, it's a second Liszt or second Paderewski or second, a second is already wrong, you know. If he's a second, he's no good at all. He's an imitator. An artist in any way must be alone, a world by himself. If I were questioning somebody and asked you, for instance, well, who do you really think the greatest of all times? Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, Titian, Velasquez, Rembrandt. What would you do?
It's impossible.
Each one of them is a world by itself, a world. If I go to see the whole exhibition of Rembrandt that I saw in Amsterdam once, 350 pictures, I mean not all, but I mean most of it, on an anniversary of it, I assure you, I thought there was nothing else in the world possible. But then a few weeks later, there was a little exposition here of most works of Vermeer. I had exactly the same feeling. Then I saw an exhibition of Titian, exactly the same feeling. They are alone, they are a world by itself. You know, that is something. A Beethoven is alone. A Mozart is alone. There are no many Mozart, some like him with Mozart and others and Beethoven. No! look here, if I am a pianist, well, I'm a pianist of my kind, which pleased so many people who liked the kind of my playing, who were my followers, who had enjoyed it, might even had a great emotion out of it and so on. But then there are others who get emotions and get very moved by other pianists, this one and that one and this one and this one. Who can say that this one is the greatest? It's a nonsense, I hate that.
We're going to hear you play the Grieg A minor piano concerto. Can you tell me your feelings about it and what it's meant historically in your career?
It's very funny. Grieg, you mean?
The Grieg A minor concerto.
Well, it's a very funny, horrible story, you know. I was brought up by a very severe German professor of the Brahms school, you know, the Brahms Joachim school, against Liszt, Wagner, etc. You know, that was my upbringing in music. In those times, Grieg was considered small fry, you know, and meant to be neglected. Some young pianist who played the Grieg concerto was looked down upon, you know. What did he play? Grieg or... Well, I was brought up like that. When I came to the United States, and there was some sort of fight about Melancholy or Tchaikovsky concerto, there was some sort of quarrel at my recording company about it. They wanted to console me after that quarrel, that we will please let you play now the great Grieg concerto, which is selling more than anything else. It's the greatest thing in America. They love it. I said, this concerto, not very, very important, you know. Well, my wife, who always takes care of things, you know, that are important financially too, she has the family, bought that Grieg concerto, put it on the piano instead. I played it through with such pleasure. I learned it in 3 days and made right away also a record of it with Ormandy in the Philadelphia Orchestra. But you know, later on, I know that Rachmaninoff at a dinner in my house told me that for him, the Grieg concerto was the best concerto ever written without any exception, which was a little exaggerated in my belief, but still, it can inspire a man like Rachmaninoff to say such a thing. Do you know that since ever I'm all the time thinking, what was the reason for any success I have had in my life? Because I certainly do not play the piano as well as most pianists play. I never work so much as they do, you know. They play the piano to perfection. I know young people now who play the piano as one can't play it better. But then, when I hear them play that way, I have my little question for them. I ask them, when will you start to make music? Make music, you see, that is something which preoccupies me. That means make music is something metaphysical. A painting is a painting, visible. The sculpture is visible. A poem is visible on the paper. Well, music is visible but not audible. I mean, it exists only because there are